Hello, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Sassy Dragon. My name is Ariel. I will be your dragony perfume tour guide today, and I hope my little dragons out there are doing really great. Today is going to be a really fun and probably funny kind of video because I am going to be talking about the top 10 reader voted best women's perfumes of all time. This is from Fragrantica.com, Fragrantica.com. I will leave a link below. You can go look them up. They're a great site and resource for perfume because you can go into their database and it's free to join their site, and you can look at any perfume and kind of get an idea of what the notes are before you try it or buy it. So it's one of my favorite sites to use as a resource. So this is a fun one because they did a reader's vote every year. They do a voting list, and they have all of the people on their site vote for their favorite fragrances, whether it's of that particular year that is passing, as this is the new year. Happy New Year to you all. This will be the fragrance picks from their readers, their voters from 2022. I was very busy last month. I did not get a chance to cast my votes in this, so I have literally no skin in this game. And this is a funny thing to go over because, as we know, favorite perfumes are so subjective, and it's kind of interesting to see what people out there are really loving or really hating. I will be doing 2 of their list. They had a lot of different categories. I'm not going to cover every one of them. So the 2 that I'm going to cover from their results of their voting for 2022, I'm going to do the best women's perfumes of all time, with an honorable mention for the best women's perfume of 2022, which is different. That's for just last year, what was released last year. But this one that I'm going to cover the top 10 on is the one that people think at current, that's their very favorites. So there we go. I will be doing a separate video for the I hate this perfume category of 2022, which I actually think is hysterical. But I will be posting that in a different video. So let's start, guys. We'll go from 10 and work our way up. Some of these I have, some of these I've tried. I actually have a good many of them, but I have not tried all of them. So number 10 was Narciso Rodriguez For Her. That would be just the classic version. I know that there are flankers of this fragrance. I have not personally tried this one, so I do not know what it is like, but that was number 10 for best women's perfume of all time. Number 9 was Parfums de Marly Delina, the famous Delina. I have yet to smell this one. I will be getting some samples of this and we'll post a review when I do, but I do know that it is popular. It's much beloved currently. It's very much in the public consciousness right now, so that probably has a lot to do with why it ended up on the top 10 list. Number 8, this is one that I do have and do love, is the Addict EDP from Dior. Now, I know that there have been different versions of this, different iterations of it. You can see that my bottle is almost half emptied because I do love this fragrance. I think I can't remember when I bought this one. It's been at least 4 or 5 years. And it has aged beautifully. I really don't smell much difference in it at all, but I absolutely love the bottle. It has a good bit of sandalwood, very nice, rich vanilla. It has a very nice, almost herbaceous quality to it as well, so it's not a syrupy vanilla, but I absolutely do love that one, and it came in at number 8. Yes, to me this, it's got a little spiciness to it too. I tend to definitely reach for this one more in the cold months because it does have that kind of warm, sexy, rich, slightly spicy, woodsy vanilla to it. Oh, it is so good. That is a beautiful, beautiful scent. At number 6, no, sorry, not number 6, we're on number 7. Another one that I absolutely love, back to back. was Mon Guerlain from Guerlain. I love this perfume. Again, you can see I'm I've used up most of this bottle, and this is actually the second large bottle I've gone through of this one. This is a perfume, in my opinion, that does not get nearly enough love. It is gorgeous. It is vanilla, lavender, like patchouli, sandalwood, I think is what's the main scent notes of this one. But I get fragrance, I get compliments on this fragrance every time I wear it. I really do. There is something about this that lends itself to this sort of like interesting, almost brown sugar kind of note. I think the combination of all of it together. If you don't like lavender in your perfumes, you probably will not like it, but I do love lavender. To me, this is the perfect combination of like sexy, sensual, soothing, relaxing, sophisticated, sweet, yet fresh. It is just such a well-balanced perfume. It's actually one of my favorite, more modern releases. Absolutely love it. Hope they keep making this one because it is gorgeous. It is a beautiful scent. I remember getting in a car, getting in an Uber one time, and I was wearing this fragrance, and the driver was like, oh my gosh. They were like, what is that? I need that in my life. I had to write it down for them, and it was a guy. So he was planning on wearing this. Even though it's marketed to women, he was like, no. He's like, I'm going to wear that, and I'm going to get laid so much. It was hysterical. He's like, I'm going to get so many people who come in my way. It's going to be amazing. So apparently he thought it was very sexy. And I think it has that, like, it's sexy but not trashy vibe. It's a very, like, sensual, delicious, yet fresh, and sophisticated scent. Absolutely love it. Number 6 was also a Guerlain. I do not personally have this one, but it is Shalimar, the EDP. Very, very long time classic is Shalimar. So if you have and love that one came in at number 6 on the best women's perfume of all time this year. Number 5 is another favorite of mine. I do have that one, and that would be the Yves Saint Laurent YSL's Libre Intense Eau de Parfum. I would say of all the Libre flankers that I have smelled, this one is my favorite because it brings in that vanilla orchid into the mix. It is absolutely delicious. As you can see, I've been going through this bottle. Again, this is one that I reach for more in the winter, the colder months, autumn, because it is very rich. It has a luxurious, warm, inviting scent, but it's also, again, very sophisticated. It is beautiful. I actually really enjoy all the Libre flankers, but I really like this one the best, and it does not surprise me at all that this one came in at number 5 or was on a top 10 list for best fragrances. I would say that this has to be one of my personal favorites that's been released over the last 2 years. In my opinion, it's kind of amazing at a time when a lot of perfume companies are tending to water down the strength of their compositions or reformulate them in, you know, their classics into weaker versions of themselves. This one is bringing the late 90s, early 2000s vibes of those very nice, very strong, last all day, spray this once or twice, you'll be smelling it through the evening kind of fragrances, and that's what this one does. Not only is it a beautiful scent, I think it's perfect for almost any, you know, occasion, any situation, just depending on how much you spray of it. But this one is absolutely a great performer. Has good longevity, good projection, good sillage. You're going to get a lot of compliments on this one. I always do when I wear this fragrance. I think it smells better on than it does just out straight the bottle. Give it time to dry down on yourself. It just smells luxurious. It smells like a very nice high-end fragrance. It has that feeling. Oh, just delicious. Number 5 on the top list this year. Number 4 on our best women's perfume of all time. Voters picked, not surprising, Baccarat Rouge from Maison Francis Kurkdijian. if I'm saying that right, never know if I am, of Paris. I do have a sample bottle of this, but you guys, I did a review on this perfume and I compared and contrasted to the Dossier Ambery Saffron dupe of 540 Baccarat Rouge, and I like the dupe better. I just do. It takes down that kind of pungent jasmine note of the original, smooths it out a little bit, and I just really enjoy this one much better. It's beautiful. It's just uncanny how this thing, even though it doesn't have strawberry listed in its notes, it ends up pulling that strawberry note every time when you smell it. That's a beautiful one. And yes, it does smell expensive. It does smell high quality. It is a very luxurious fragrance, and I personally really do enjoy it. Number 3 is a favorite of mine, but this one's a controversial one. I know. Okay, so number 3 on the best women's perfume of all time list is Mugler's Gorgeous Alien. Now this one is a controversial one, guys, because now this bottle I'm holding right here, that's an old version when Clarins Group was still manufacturing this one. To me, Alien is just a gorgeous, beautiful, unmitigated jasmine bomb. It comes on strong with the jasmine. It doesn't make any apologies for it. So to me, it's that very strong. It's the jasmine, amber, and the woodsy dry down. It has this very beautiful, bright solar energy. It's, to me, a voluptuous kind of jasmine. And of course, the reason it's controversial is because here I've got in my hand the new version since L'Oreal took over Mugler Perfumes. And I will say, this one, it's a drier version. This one, the original is more voluptuous. That's what I get from it. This one is drier. This one feels like a jasmine green tea to me. This one feels like sexy jasmine in the garden after the rain, and then the sun hits it and it's like, boom, that thing is in your face. Some people love the older one the best. Some people are actually happy with the newer one because it's not quite as strong and loud. As you can tell, the older one really does age into this more ambery fluid. You can see it in the bottle, whereas the newer one does not do that. So if you're wondering what, and you can also see from the top, the older bottles are more squared off on that shoulder, on that top, and the newer one is more smoothed out. It's a little lowered on the top. So it's really up to you which one that you like. I personally, if I had to choose, I would take the older one. It lasts a little longer. I do like that more voluptuous take on the jasmine. It's just a personal preference. You can still get the old bottles of Alien. Check out on eBay, check out, sometimes fragrancenet.com has them, but the main thing to look for if you're trying to find an older bottle of Alien or any of the Mugler fragrances is look for the CFG. That stands for Clarins Fragrance Group. That was who was producing it before the L'Oreal buyout. I know. It's sad for us fans of the older ones because those, once they're eventually gone, they will be gone. They do age well, so they will hold up. But yeah, that is number 3, Mugler's Alien. And I would say that it is a sexy scent. Jasmine is a long, well-known aphrodisiac. And it is a very sexy, very attractive, alluring kind of scent. Number 2, guys. And I don't have the original because it's not my favorite. I actually like the intense version. But number 2 is the gorgeous, classic Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel. Now, my favorite flanker is the intense, but it was the original Eau de Parfum. That is the one that came in at number 2. But both of them are absolutely gorgeous. Again, to me, this is a scent that is good for any occasion, any event, any season. It is perfect. It's as perfect to me as a perfume can get. I would actually have picked this one for number 1 if I was going to pick like an all-around great fragrance that's, you know, just very timeless. It's that perfect combination of sweet, citrus, fresh, you know, has enough of a depth in the dry down to keep it from being just really light and fluffy. It is just, to me, a beautiful, beautiful scent. Again, my favorite is the Intense one. It has a much more strong patchouli and musky dry down and a little more vanilla in it, but both of them are just incredible, so you cannot go wrong with that. The one that came in at number 1, I do not personally have, and I have never smelled this version of it, but it was Dior Hypnotic Poison Eau de Parfum. Now, I don't know if they still even make that, because I have only found and smelled the Hypnotic Poison Eau de Toilette. But it is the Eau de Parfum that came in as people's favorite women's fragrance of all time for 2022. So that's what people have on their mind. That's what they say they like the most out of all the list. Again, I did not take part in these Fragrantica votes on these, but that is what people love. Now, I will say the Eau de Toilette, it is nice. It's not something I necessarily reach for again and again. What I remember from that perfume is that it's definitely got some strong vanilla. It has a little bit of that root beer scent to it. I think it does have either some sassafras or some anise, something in it that gives it a little bit of that root beer pop. Not super heavy. Some people do not like this one. It has a lot of almond in it, so it can tend to pull that Play-Doh note on a lot of folks, their personal chemistry. I think that the original Hypnotic Poison Eau de Parfum is probably better, stronger. I would love to get a hold of it at some point and smell it, because that is a fragrance that a lot of people really, really do love. Obviously, if it was voted number 1 in the Fragrantica, poll, it definitely has a lot of people that really enjoy it. And Dior, if you're listening, you need to bring it back, because you have been watering down and reformulating too many of your beloved fragrances. Miss Dior is definitely one that comes to mind. I will be doing a big review and talk about that in the future. But I think that, a lot of people, obviously, this is, Fragrantica is a big site. It has a lot of members, people that check in on it frequently, and they are, big scentophiles, big, fans and lovers of fragrance. So if they are voting up Hypnotic Poison Eau de Parfum at number 1, guys, you need to pay attention to that and bring it back if you have stopped producing it. Now, I will give an honorable mention. I'm not going to do the whole top 10 list because a lot of them were flankers, which doesn't get me super excited. But, and the number 1 best women's perfume for 2022, the top 10 list I just did was of all time. But the favorite new release for best women's perfume of 2022 was another Libre flanker, and that was the Libre Les Parfums. Not the not the EDP, not the EDT, not the EDP Intense. This is a new one. This is the 4th version of this one to hit the market, and it is one that has, I think, a sweeter vibe. It's got the saffron in it. I'm actually going to take a test on this one because it's hard for me to recall exactly what this one smells like. This is a stopper tab, so give me just a second to open that up. I'm just going to do one little drop of that and let it air out. Already smells like Libre to me. Definitely does. Haven't decided. Oh yeah, that is nice. Wow. It is a different, it's a different, fresher, slightly sweeter, slightly spicier vibe on the original Libre. I do like it. Might be full bottle worthy, but that was the number 1 pick for new releases for 2022, was the Libre Les Parfums. So, yeah, that is beautiful. Of course, I'm a sucker for Libre in general. Oh, you know what I'm getting to is there's almost like a slight honeyed vibe around that one. Oh, I might have to break down and get some of that in a large bottle. Oh my goodness, that does smell so nice compared to this one. Okay, the Intense is more vanillic, definitely. More vanillic, aromatic kind of energy. And I like the, but man, they really struck gold with that perfume to me, the Libre. Like, all the different iterations of it are just so nice. All right, guys, so that was the Fragrantica top 10 voted perfumes of all time and the #1 new release of 2022. Leave your comments below in the description, in the comment section. I'd love to know what your personal top 10 or #1 release of the year was. I know there's quite a few of my personal favorites in this list, and I think I would really like to try the other ones that I have not smelled before, especially the original Dior Hypnotic Poison. All right, folks, have a wonderful 2023, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Take care.